Anais Salas, Patreon Sage here on YouTube. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I have been in a deep process for several weeks now, and certainly over the last 7 days I was so deeply you want to call it purging, you want to call it clearing. I have been in the middle of a very intense journey. It's been difficult to speak without sputtering and spuffing and coughing, so I thought I'd give us all a break. We've just come through the new moon in Scorpio, for those of you who follow astrology. I can attest to the intensity of the process that I have been through, but it began well before the new moon. And because the nature of it, I think it will continue to unfold and be very powerful in terms of changes in my personal life for some time to come. So here's the layout. Here we have divine masculine, here we have divine feminine, and in the central, the spine, that is uniting and balancing masculine and feminine energies, the source line, I like to call it, source, S-O-U-R-C-E, the source line is here in the center. We do have, whenever this particular card shows up in a reading for me with the animal deck, I take it as a validation that I'm going to be doing a reading for current energies, for those of us who are on an expansion and ascension path, and who recognize we're on a sacred union journey. And some people like to characterize that as a twin flame experience. Okay. So, beginning with that, let's start with the beginning, with the source line. We have here the swan. This represents the balanced masculine and feminine, moving through consciousness with grace and ease and beauty. And supporting that and uniting further both sides of the dynamic, we have temperance. So this is an energy of emotional patience and being in a centered and balanced place, where we do not create chaos and conflict, unnecessary chaos and conflict with our emotional energy. So that's very helpful. Now, next we have out the Dark Lady, and this for me is a representation of the energy of the unforgiven mother. This is a soulless, S-O-U-L, less being, who, as I've been discovering in these recent weeks, and I'm uncovering more information about this energy and this template of the unforgiven mother, or the spider woman, she is soulless, but she has the capacity to be a birther, and she has the capacity to give birth to humans who do have souls. And from then on, it's a bit of a train wreck, because as you've seen in other recent videos, she then believes that she is entitled to the quanta, the source energy in any human being she births who comes with a soul, and she will feed off of that energy, and it will look to all the world like it's the most fantastic mother-child relationship that ever was. So we need this temperance energy, because this Dark Lady is really a piece of work. Now, supporting the dark lady, the unforgiven mother, we have the devil, which makes perfect sense. And in this depiction of the card, the devil is feminine energy. She's tucked into a straitjacket, which she could take off herself if she wanted to, because she's got two hands free to unbuckle it. But she'd have to let go of her controlled persons. And in this instance, in this reading, these controlled persons come across to me as her children, either male or female. And this energy is supporting the emotional chaos and conflict and trauma that is a part of the domain that the dark lady, this energy actually emerges from, which is a non-human realm. So, we're working on that. In our union energy, we're working on that template, both masculine and feminine. We're doing it in different ways. And the experience, it was probably showing up in our everyday reality in some pretty quirky ways. You may be fending off sickness right now. You may be recovering from sickness. This is a very intense energy, and it is an energy that eats light, love light, and it is in a kind of a feeding frenzy right now, because that domain recognizes that human beings with souls are waking up, and they're recognizing that they are being controlled and manipulated and used, and they're putting they're just saying no more. That's what the twin flame sacred union individuals and couples and soul groups are working on in any combination of those three. And then next out we have Judgment, which is just an affirmation that we do have divine intervention from Source helping us with this work that we're doing to clear this template and how it expresses in our lives and in the 3D construct. So we do have some help here. And all I can say is thank goodness for that. I've been experiencing lots of help in these last few weeks. Very appreciative of that. And very clear about what it is that I am dealing personally in my life. And I'm aware that this is a collective endeavor and that this is a galactic template that we're dealing with. It's not just about what's happening on planet Earth. It's actually a bigger story than that, and we've begun to tackle it. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go over to the divine feminine side of the dynamic and talk about what you may be experiencing right now, or have just come through, or maybe going into in the current energies. And this is very specific to people who are on the twin flame sacred union journey. It is very specific to healing the Archon spider energy template, and that's important to know. And I will be posting about that on my Patreon page for the next couple of days, taking us through the Halloween whatever energy. I never have understood that energy, but we'll be going through that. The only time Halloween made any sense to me was when I had departed souls coming to me and asking me to please take them to the other side and get them where they needed to go. And that was always much busier activity during Halloween. I have no idea why. All right, so for the divine feminine, first we have you here presenting as the oyster, you're pretty clammed up. You're kind of closed up tight and being very self-protective right now because you are recognizing that these energies are working to get at your insides, to get at the pearl that you hold within. And they will do literally anything now at this point to find a way to break through and to find a way to steal your pearl of soul and wisdom and love and creativity. So you're being very self-protective right now, which is absolutely appropriate. Because also in your environment, you have this energy, the reptilian energy, and I would say you also obviously are going to have some spider energy, but the reptilian energy is there to come also. Interesting, its mouth is as pried shut as the oyster is pried shut. And I mean, this is clamped shut, and this is about not speaking. This oyster, we see no signs that it has any sense of its own surroundings except for these little flecks of color. But with the crocodile energy around you, whoever this other person is, or this other aspect of yourself that is currently liberating from shadow dynamics, can see very clearly, knows, and is not saying. So this has been a very difficult time for the Divine Feminine because she is protecting herself, himself, it's not about gender, protecting the deep inside, the value in here, protecting it from being snatched, protecting it from being stolen, working very, very, very hard. And this is a tiny little creature working against what seems to be a very big energy. And you may be feeling, Divine Feminine, that you're tired, that you're not sure how much longer you can keep this up. But as you can see, there's a lot of beautiful energy around you. And while you're protecting what's inside, this energy, and you can think that there are many other bees besides this one who are aligned with you to protect this energy. And no hesitation to go after this crocodile, this reptilian energy, in any vulnerability that's available. The honeybee will find it. So that's pretty funny to think about. A kind of an ongoing struggle between maybe a swarm of honeybees and a crocodile, and how that might work out. At the very least, it will be distracting to this energy because you're closing off. You are closing off access. You can see here how this creature literally now has no access to this. And this is your intention coming into your new growth period between now and the new year. You have become aware of your surroundings in a very new and dynamic way. And you are aware that it is you who is going to co-create through a new cleansed intention, and you're going to do it very carefully with a lot of wisdom, and you're going to take your time. This is a slow moving energy, and it does have to be pried open. It's not going to voluntarily surrender any more energy or information that can be used by this person, place, situation in the environment. This could be workplace, it could be family, Could be, I'm sorry to say, could be you and a partner. Could be you and a boss. You'll need to resonate with what's true for you. But these are both water signs, so this is a very powerful emotional dynamic. And you are aware of it, and the other person is aware of it as well. And they're getting a little irritated that you are not engaged, communicating, opening up, and offering your customary pearls of love, of wisdom, of insight, intelligence. You've shut that off now, and you're being very protective of it, which is as it should be, Divine Feminine. Now, next out we have Singer of the Chalice, which is very much equivalent to the vibration, the energy of unconditional love and beautiful pure light from source and creative energy. And this is you operating from your core spiritual self, your core healed emotional self, and your core healed mental body. And this is you really positioned to enjoy all of the work that you've done in terms of ascension, expansion into a much more energized relationship with Source. And then next out we have the Ten of Wands. And in this energy of unconditional love, Divine Feminine, you are finally, because you've been wrestling with this, you're able to put down the burden. I'm going to put this card down for a minute. You are able to put down this burden of being entrapped in this dynamic. So the Ten of Wands, you're going to be laying this burden down. You're surrounded by unconditional love as you do this work. And you're feeling that you can trust the support that you're getting from Spirit and your soul group and your Sacred Union partner. You're feeling that you can trust this. And as you lay these burdens down, you are changing. Every one of these rods, flames, represents the option to be in the flame of truth, passion, justice for yourself and others. And you're laying down those wands and you're exchanging them for a single blade as you become the Page of Swords. And you are ready to take the new guidance and information that is coming your way, Divine Feminine. And you can see she's still pretty well defended here, but she now has the insight of what this weapon is meant, how it will serve her. And here you can see she's still not quite comfortable speaking. She's opened up a little bit, but she's not yet ready to fully speak this energy, because she knows that when she opens up to open her mouth, the crocodile will be in the environment ready to grab her and eat her up. And so she needs this weapon now in case, as she begins to speak, and this energy tries to get at her, she will be able to defend herself. All right. And that's important for you, Divine Feminine, to know that you are strong enough in your own empowerment to put burdens down, to become stronger and more skilled, to learn new skills, to take on new perspectives, and to be able to manage your emotions in ways that protect you and defend you from a place of justice and empower you to protect yourself and defend yourself and set good boundaries from the energy of justice. And again, I remind you, we have the Judgment card out here, so this is an expression of divine love that is saying, yes, you know what? There are gonna be times when you need to be prepared to defend yourself, protect your starfire, and just you can think of this as a lightsaber. If the image of a dagger is a little unsettling for you, maybe for some people. All right. Now next, we have He of the Fiery Sword, which is passion and purpose and intention and a direct, truthful aim that hits its mark. We have the Eight of Wands, which is beautiful, and we have the King of Cups. Now, as I look at this, I'm going to put the King of Cups down for a minute, Divine Feminine. This is the chalice taking form of both masculine and feminine energy here, and you putting down these burdens so that these wands are free to move in new and profoundly powerful ways of communicating. So I feel here, Divine Feminine, you being given support from your inner masculine and your inner feminine to lay those burdens down and begin to take that burdened information and transform it into information that you can use as energy to change your situation, your life, your job, your relationship, whatever is appropriate to you. Now, as you're doing this, we have here out the King of Cups next, and you have a sense within. It may come in fleeting moments, but you're beginning to have a sense within of a love that is within you, that is already part of yourself in your masculine energy expression. And in putting down these wands and feeling the King of Cups in your own heart space, you are setting up communications here. Very beautiful, powerful communications of self-love, of self-nurturing, of recognizing that there is love in this life and in this world it's available to you, and you will find it inside of yourself. And then you put this burden down and you open up this entire beautiful new dynamic, a fast-moving energy of growth. And you can see that there's structure to this. This is aligned, and it's aligned with the King of Cups and love and nurturing. All right, coming from a masculine energy within you. And you will see here that this King of Cups is encouraging the quality of self-love that says, yes, it is appropriate for you to be able to set healthy boundaries and to protect your core essence and energy from being taken from you without your consent. So this is a beautiful, helpful reminder for you, Divine Feminine, that you do have this support within you, and it will show up in your external world once you've understood and received that particular message. Okay, now next up, we have the Lovers, we have Strength, and we have the Sun. So we're beginning to see the transformation that is at hand for the Divine Feminine, as you, Divine Feminine, in the circumstance or situation that you're in, you have chosen to release yourself, to unchain yourself from this dynamic, and you're aware that you have all the tools, resources, support, power, and energy within you to do that work, and that you don't have to do it alone. That is the message of the Lovers. You have the energy of Sacred 3 to help you. You have the strength of the Lion Heart and the infinity, the strength of Source to assist you. And here you are moving into a profoundly new way of seeing yourself. And I like to look at this and think that these wands have transformed into these beautiful sunflowers in the process work that you're doing, clearing up your own inner conflict and laying down your burdens of not feeling loved or wanted. And there are many of us who have the experience when we are birthed into the world by a birther, a soulless, dark feminine. It requires tremendous strength to maintain your own soul connection, and then it requires tremendous strength to release this from your life, see it for what it is, release it, walk away, do all the emotional clearing work that you need to do to totally liberate yourself, going all the way back to your birth, when you were birthed through the Unforgiven Mother template, through a birther, a soulless birther. You're going to need to travel all the way back. And in that instance, I like to see this oyster card as representing even into the womb and at the time of your conception. You're going to need to have the strength to go that deep into your own core essence, to claim yourself, to claim your humanity, to claim your spirit, your soul, your life purpose, to own all of who you are, respect it, and be very selective about what you share and how you share it and why you share it. So this is very beautiful to have this coming out as the beginning of an outcome for you with this reading. All right, now I'm going to go over back here to the center, the source spine of this reading. And because of the dynamics that have changed here, and you coming into a new, deep, much, much deeper understanding that you are loved, as well as having self-love, and that this love has absolutely nothing to do with this energy. This energy does not love you. No matter what kind of a face it puts on, you will feel that you're in this dynamic, because when you look into this person's eyes, or when you are around them, you will feel uncomfortable. And you need to notice that feeling and honor it and accept it. And you may be with someone who's been in your life a long time, and you may be waking up to realize that you do not actually have an healthy emotional connection. That might be quite shocking to you, and it's then going to require you to come into this beautiful strength of letting go of what doesn't love you and what isn't going to serve you in your expansion, co-creative process. So coming back over here now, Divine Feminine, with all this beautiful insight and understanding and the dynamics here, you are coming into your Queen of Pentacles energy, and this is the nurturing, earthy, loving, bonded, connected mother. This is not the soulless, narcissistic mother. This is not the competitive mother. This is the loving, nurturing, she's not selfless. This mother is not selfless. She understands healthy boundaries, and she's able to share beautiful developmental energy with her children. So you have taken on this energy. Is beginning to show up as part of you, as well as the Queen of Swords. So you can see that you're moving beautifully in your development from being insecure and a little bit guarded and not being sure of what you should do or how you should handle this situation, but being ready to protect your boundaries and defend your own core essence. You are quickly moving into Queen energy here, where that dagger becomes a sword and you are able to use it with a lot of precision, with great wisdom, and you're also able to do that because you understand now that you're not only protecting your inner child, but if you are a mother and you have children, you're going to do everything you can now to cut away the template of the unforgiven mother connections from your ancestral line. And this is a lineage. This is a lineage scenario. Not everyone comes from an unforgiven mother. So let me be really clear about that. There's a very different dynamic. And you need to look at this carefully and live in it authentically. And if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't fit, put it back on the shoe rack. It's not for you. But there are many, many women who I've spoken to in the last few weeks who recognize, as I've described it to them, and the process that I'm in, they've recognized it instantly. So trust your own knowing. But you are coming into this energy now, which you need, which this young part of you needs to be whole. And this is energy. This is energy. You're not going to get this from the unforgiven mother. She doesn't have this to give. And waking up into that and processing that emotionally is that she doesn't have it to give. Not that you're unable to receive it or that there is something inherently wrong with you. Although if you were born through a birther, you're going to have spiritual issues where your resonance with the person that calls herself your mother is going to be a very challenging dynamic, and one in which you will have to work very, 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 very gently and diligently to liberate yourself so that you can experience who you are, Divine Feminine. Who you are. And you can develop and nurture and defend and protect your own spiritual essence. So you're coming into this in a very beautiful and quick way. All right, now we're going to go over to the Divine Masculine. And first we have the Otter, which is playful, happy-go-lucky, very connected, very socially alive and interactive spirit. And we have Gazelle, which is alert, so fire energy, attentive, sensitive. And here we have a Nightingale, which is, I'm singing my song, I'm doing my thing. So this is your energy right now, Divine Masculine. Again, this is not about gender. And in this dynamic here for you on this side, you're in a pretty balanced place. You may be experiencing some turbulence coming at you from the feminine side of yourself or from your partner, because you're aware of this energy being in your divine feminine's environment. It may even be showing up a little bit in your environment and rocking your world in ways that you didn't expect. So you are, alert. You see it. You're standing up. You're looking at it. You're like, okay, let me get ready for whatever that might be. You're centered and poised. And you're not giving this any fear energy here. You're not even going to give any of your fire away to this dynamic. You're just aware of it. And here, you are going to support the divine feminine in opening up and being truthful and honest and verbal and vocal with whoever she needs to be. Truthful and honest and verbal and vocal to transform this individual in her environment, or to show them the door. Okay. So next out for you, Divine Masculine, first we have the Singer of Courage. So this is you stepping up, not in an overbearing way, but communicating to your Divine Feminine that you are there to support her with your courage, and that you will bring your sword and align it with her sword of truth to move through this energy dynamic so that she can survive, get out, and free herself, and free you as well in the process. Because every time the Divine Feminine becomes a little bit more liberated, it's absolutely liberating and balanced for the Divine Masculine, and vice versa. And so here you are, carrying a pentacle, moving forward, saying, yeah, I'm going to support you with my courage, with my sword of truth, and I'm going to come at you slowly, with focus and steadfastness, so that you don't confuse. You don't become confused about who I am or how I'm showing up in your life. And this is a wonderful, wonderful gift of support to your Divine Feminine. Now, next out we have, I love this combination, we have the beautiful masculine energy of Solus, the Divine Masculine all lit up. We have that star energy being translated into emotional expression. And we have the High Priestess being seen by the Divine Masculine. We have the Divine Masculine in his emotional capacity as a sensitive, empath, healing, intelligent person, to see his Divine Feminine for the High Priestess that she is, and to bring beautiful illumination and emotional healing to her, so that she is poised now, and it's like she's written down what she wants to say, and she's going to be ready to say it to whom she needs to say it, and she has this amazing, beautiful, loving support behind her. Now, for some of you, this may translate into scorpionic energy. That's fine if it does. And then lastly, we have out for the Divine Masculine, we have the Chariot. We have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Emperor. So here we have the Divine Masculine moving forward with great speed and clarity of intention, having mastered the duality that, and the just the tremendous challenge of moving through the dynamic of the unforgiven mother that his divine feminine may be in. And he's also bringing in with him on the back of this chariot the Ace of Wands, which is passion and purpose, focus, fiery energy of desire to create in a healthy and balanced way with the earth. So the Divine Masculine is bringing this energy in to support his Divine Feminine, and he's coming in as the Emperor. So even though he is approaching in a very steady way, I mean, look at these horses. There's a lot of power coming together here, right? Just gonna come together. And I think it's interesting because the Chariot is gonna be communing to this guy, you know what, you gotta move a little faster, pal. I'm here to help you move faster. Follow my lead. And then coming in with the Emperor, and the Emperor is the fully evolved, masterful masculine energy that has developed a beautiful relationship with earth, air, water, and fire. He's comfortable in his emotions. He's able to be an authority in his professional life. In his family life, he is wise and steadfast, but also open and a good listener and an action taker. All right, so he's bringing in earth, air, water, and fire energy. This is beautiful. And he is, in this instance, looking at the High Priestess, looking at the Divine Feminine, and seeing her not as someone who's been entrapped in a dynamic she can't escape, and so she is unavailable to him emotionally, or unavailable to him to have a dynamic, intimate relationship because she's so high up. He's seeing her for who she really is. So in his wisdom, he's also able to see in this High Priestess the grounded Earth Mother and the woman who's capable of expressing herself truthfully and authentically, no need to manipulate. He's seeing all of this, and it's almost like he's seeing it for the first time. So the other person in your environment, Divine Feminine, who co-resonates with you in masculine energy, may be seeing new things about you because you are coming out of this chained up, locked perception where you couldn't be seen clearly for who you are as your authentic self, detached from the dynamics of the devouring, unforgiven mother. And he's looking and he's going, huh, wow, gee, how come I never noticed that before? Or I didn't know she could do that. Right? This is very, very helpful because this is the Emperor looking inside of your what appears to be closed, bounded self. And he has come toward you in the vibration that opens you up, and so he's able to see you energetically as you really are, and he doesn't have to pry you open. He can see you. He can see you, and he can respect your protected space. So this is just a beautiful outcome for you, Divine Feminine. and for the divine masculine. All right. So that's going to be it for the general reading. I do have more cards ready to go on with this reading, which I will do as an extended. And you can find that on my Vimeo channel. Just use the link below. And or you can find it on my Patreon page. Today's the 28th, so by the 31st of October, I will have included in the Sacred Union tier of support for the Patreon page any extended readings that I've done for the month of October. And so rather than paying $7 for each reading, you'll have all of the extended readings available to you. So if you just look at 2 of them, you already have gotten a good deal, because you will be instead of paying $14, you'll be paying $10 just to look at 2, and there'll be many more than 2. All right, I hope that you'll join me for the extended, because there's a lot more that's developing here for both the masculine and the feminine, and I think it would be helpful for you to see how this unfolds and what other energies come in and show up for this dynamic time, as we're now in Mercury retrograde. So you may be finding divine feminine and divine masculine, that even though you're in this very powerful situation of transformation, that your communications right now are focused, clear, loving, and not functioning in a retrograde way, which is a beautiful validation for you. So notice in your life if you're seeing that this is the case. Okay. And you want to join me in the extended reading and learn more about what's happening here. Thanks so much. I'll see you there.